So this is one of our end of streaming sessions, and we're going to talk about um, the Munsters. Yeah, everybody's been talking about it. To say the least, I have been waiting on this movie for a long time. I'm a huge Munsters fan. I was always a bigger Munsters fan than I was Addams Family. I thought Fred Gwynn was hilarious, like everybody. And I thought the whole story and just the monsters and at my age that was about all the monsters I could take. Wasn't really ready for the Freddies and stuff like that. But Yeah, I love the Munsters. So I kind of grew up watching probably the reruns of it, not the original, but the reruns of it. And Yeah, so I was really looking forward to this. I don't want to say I was really looking forward to this. I figured Rob Zombie, he's an old movie fan. I didn't even really know if he was a Munsters fan, but I knew he was an old movie fan. I said, so this is in the right hands no matter what. It's got to be. And Then when we saw that first trailer, of them in the black and white and the opening, like from the TV show, it was beautiful. It looked to be. Um, but yeah, so I think a lot of people were turned off by that first or that second trailer. And then the movie came out, and I mean, it came out quick. It was done and finished, and then came out quick. Same thing with The Dirt, which someday we'll go over my review of The Dirt. Being a huge Motley Crue fan, we'll go over my review of The Dirt because it's not very pleasant. But this one, I mean, yeah, after I saw the trailer and how quick it was put together, and then I learned before the movie came out that the studio that was doing it was a studio that kind of does offshoot projects, cheap rip-off sequels of other movies and stuff, and from Universal Pictures. And so we saw that Universal Pictures thing at the beginning. We got all excited, but then you find out that it's like one of their other, the subsidiaries or chartered off or broken off, branched off, I guess you should say, branched off movie studios that does shitty movies. 1400 Entertainment, I think it's called, or something like that. 1440, I don't know. So, yeah, the guy doing Herman doesn't match Fred Gwynn at all. I'm really not sure what he's doing here. Now, being as this is supposed to be a prequel, and supposedly Rob Zombie has said that they're in puberty age or over puberty, even though Sherry Moon Zombies are 40s or whatever. But they're supposed to be, like youngsters getting together. So maybe that's what he was going for with maybe Rob Zombie told the guy doing Herman, Jeff Daniel Phillips, told Jeff, hey, do kind of a squeaky voice like you're going through. I don't know. I don't know if that's how far back he was going with the whole going, meeting each other and being young and in love. I don't know if that's how far back he was going with that or not, but yeah, he doesn't sound right, and it's going to bother you. You just have to get used to it. He doesn't do it on all the time. Like a lot of the stuff you see in the trailer, you're going to be like, oh, this is going to annoy the shit out of me. It's not in the movie the whole time. The other thing is Lily or Sherry Moon Zombie's acting. Sherry Moon Zombie, I don't know if she watched an episode of the Munsters and like she saw Lily do the "oh Hermie" thing, and then she decided to go the whole way with that because that shaky, lovelorn voice that she has is ridiculous. Now the thing is, she doesn't talk like that all the time, just like Jeff Daniels Phillips doesn't talk stupid all the time, or in the high pitchy voice and off and on, and sometimes sounds like really low. Sometimes
Are you
they
a football
they
fan?
don't. No, I'm not a football fan. Real Cowboy. Sorry, dude. Don't like sports at all, except for wrestling, which I only play on here. But I couldn't even play a football video game if you wanted me to. Sorry, dude. I'm on here for movies and music. That's what we usually talk about on here. But I'm glad you came in. But no, I'm not a football fan. And So with the rest of the movie, Grandpa's Right On, of course, by I can't remember his damn name. He was in River's Edge, which is a great movie, one of
What
Keanu Reeves'
movies do you
first.
like?
Dude, I love all kinds of movies. You name it, I love it. Right now, I'm talking about the Munsters. I don't know if you've seen that. Anyhow, so the three leads are doing their best. I think what a lot of people are upset about and why a lot of people didn't go see it or didn't give it good reviews is they were still expecting Marilyn and Eddie. When this movie was announced, I think we all thought we were going to get like a full-fledged Munsters with Marilyn and Eddie. We didn't realize it was a prequel until we were told that later, which kind of worked out. It was all right, but I still wanted Marilyn and Eddie, kind of. I think we all did. I don't know if he thought this movie was going to be such a huge hit that they were going to be able to do a sequel where we would meet Marilyn and Eddie. I don't know if there is going to be a sequel. I mean, maybe they can do it for 15 cents through that 1440 Entertainment or whatever it is, or 1400 Entertainment, whatever. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that there probably won't be a sequel. I'll probably never get to see Marilyn and Eddie. But some of the good points about the movie are the lighting is beautiful. It's really cool to watch on a big screen. Really amazing. The cinematography is really good. The in and outs and the weird '60s nostalgia type camera cuts, like kind of a Batman feel. The side cuts and the upside down stuff, just all the weird, the in and out, woo woo, that kind of stuff, all that fun stuff they did back in the Batman. That's kind of in there. That '60s laugh in Batman type feel. Um, '60s and '70s, I think, a little bit of '70s maybe. But so it's got, and that's really cool. I mean, there's a lot to be said for this movie. It's fun for the family. A dirty version of the Munsters or a sick version. For some reason, everybody, when Rob Zombie was announced to make this movie, everybody was like, how is this going to work? Like Rob Zombie can't put his head together and not make a non-violent movie. I mean, it didn't make any sense to me. It was like Rob Zombie's a very intelligent person. Just because he does zombie stuff and hardcore horror movies and his music's a little crazy. I love it. I've seen him in concert a couple times. I love him, but yeah, and I've seen a few of his movies. I didn't really go for the I didn't like the gritty horror movies that he did, like the House of Thousand Corpses, and the other one with Firefly Family. The other ones, I wasn't really into those, but I did like Halloween, and I am one of the few people that liked Halloween too that he did. There was something else he did that I really liked too. But I've always liked him as a musician, and I mean that put a lot of credibility into this movie for me. So I was expecting a lot, when I heard about it. But then after I saw the trailer, it lowered my expectations, which I think was a good thing, because I ended up liking it. I don't love it. I give it a star, or a heart on my page, and I'll watch it again. I'd say 3.5 stars out of 5, maybe. And a lot of that star work right there is for the lighting and for the way the set was done, and all the costumes are beautiful, of course. But yeah, just man, some of with the exception of Grandpa, which they call the Count, and that's not Grandpa, with the exception, and the plot's a little thin. It's really thin, which is okay for a half an hour TV show, but for an hour movie where it's a prequel and you're supposed to be introducing all these characters, the plot should have had a little bit more heft to it. I'm not even going to explain the plot to you because it's so thin that I can only say it in like one sentence, and you'll be like, "Oh, I've seen the whole movie." So, yeah, that's that. But I mean, like I said, it's worth it just to see it, even for your kid. Watch it with your kids. Maybe they'll like it. Younger kids might like it. But like I said, if you got a big TV, if you got a fancy projector or something, and you want to see all these beautiful colors, it's really cool. It's pretty amazing the way it was shot. But otherwise, like I said, 3.5 out of 5 stars. I can't go much further than that. I love Rob Zombie. I love the Munsters, but I did not love this. But it is worth a watch. So I'd say that. I'd say it's at least worth a watch.